Cafiero joins me live from Washington, D.C. He's the CEO of Gulf Estate Analytics. That is a geopolitical risk consultancy based in Washington. Giorgio, great to see you. So what's the risk here? Are we looking at a new conflict?
Well, right now, as we're figuring out what's going on, we need to realize that this situation has potential to move in many different directions. It certainly could escalate into a much more serious crisis, pitting Pakistan and Iran against each other. But I think both of these countries have vested interests in seeing to it that we don't go down that path. And it's not inevitable that this escalates into some sort of war between Pakistan and Iran. It's going to be important to see what happens next. And I definitely think it's going to be important to look at China. China has vested interests in seeing to it that these tensions do not spiral out of control. And as a country which is very influential throughout West Asia and has close relations to both Islamabad and Tehran, I think it will be interesting to see how Beijing responds to this very disturbing situation.
And Giorgio, where do you think the United States lies here? How do you think Washington is looking at the developing situation?
Well, obviously, we need to see this within the context of what's going on in Gaza, as well as the Red Sea. In addition to Syria and Iraq, the U.S. is dealing with Iran and the so-called axis of resistance. Right now, Iran is working to try to sort of eject the U.S. military from the Middle East. And what's going on now with Pakistan, I think the U.S. probably sees as a potential opportunity for the U.S. to benefit from Iran being possibly bogged down in a conflict to its east. I also think the U.S., Israel, and other adversaries of Iran are going to be paying a lot of attention to what happens and seeing what the consequences are when a country wages military strikes against targets inside Iran.
Giorgio Cafiero, thank you very much for talking to us here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time.